I.Eat.Games. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ricardo Bare. I'm the lead designer of Prey.
I was reading
Mm-hmm.
an interview you did with Game Informer,
Okay.
and you said that you're really proud that you guys stuck to your core competency.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys actually manage to do that? Because that was your hope, you said. You wanted to do and stick to that throughout the entire development. Did you guys accomplish that?
I think so. I mean, if I describe the core values of Arcane, I think it can be summarized in two ways, right? First one is creating a very deep, compelling, and interesting space to live in and play in as the player, and then secondly, giving the player like a bunch of interesting tools, abilities, powers, to sort of treat that world, that space, as a sandbox for approaching problems. So we love it when players improvise and creatively approach problems. So and I think that's evident in the game.
How difficult was it to accomplish that? Was there ever a time through development? Because the game's been in development for how long?
A little bit over 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. Was there ever sort of a feeling amongst the team where maybe you were losing sight of that, or?
No, I don't think. We've all done this before. A lot of us, even before being at Arcane, like a lot of us worked on other games like Deus Ex and Bioshock. We have people who worked on System Shock 2. And then Arcane itself has a history of doing this kind of game with Arx Fatalis and then Dishonored, of course. So we have a lot of experience and a lot of veterans who know how to make this kind of game. However, that doesn't, even still, it's not easy because the complexity of all the systems interacting together. And, there comes a threshold. You sort of have to have faith that eventually you're going to cross that threshold where it's like, you're cooking the stew. And at first you're just like, oh, there's a little bit of water and there's some meat and these herbs and it doesn't taste great yet, but you have to have faith that eventually it will reach critical mass and all the elements will come together and it'll be amazing.
How big are the side missions? Are any of them sort of huge in that they have sort of a 3-act structure? Are they big, or is it more like you got to go clear this room out?
Both. There are some that are very simple, like, this body went missing, so use the crew roster to find this person's name, put a tracking chip on them, and go or activate their tracking bracelet and go hunt them down and find them. And those are pretty easy. But then there are some bigger, more involved ones where you actually run into a survivor, and this survivor is like, maybe there's somebody barricaded in the kitchen or somebody who's sick and dying and trapped in the power plant, and that opens up a bigger possibility where now suddenly you're interacting with this person and they're asking you to do things and you can totally ignore them, but if you engage, then there's a longer, like hours long kind of quest,
Okay. Let's say you do all the side missions and obviously all the primary missions. Yeah. Can you fill out all of the skill trees?
No, I think it would be impossible. The way that we've tuned the economy, it's our goal is that it's impossible to completely max everything out. It is possible, I think, to completely fill out, like, there are human abilities and alien abilities. I think you could probably play through and get enough neuromods to max one side out, but you'd have to start over to do the other one. Or you could be somebody who kind of dabbles, it gets a little bit of everything.
Are you going to have PlayStation Pro support? Are you going to have sort of higher resolution, that kind of things? Any enhancements?
We haven't announced anything yet, but we're talking about all that stuff for sure.
New Game Plus?
Same thing. we would love to do something like that, but we haven't announced a firm plan yet.
Can you replay any missions?
Well, you can. I expect that they will have a good time replaying the game and trying a completely different build of their character and making different choices along the way. But the game is not. It's not like Dishonored, where it's like an isolated mission and then you're done with it and you move on to the next mission. It's one big ass space station that opens up more and more. And once the whole space station is open, you're just running around back and forth all over the place. So it's the missions themselves sort of bleed into each other, I guess.
Okay, last question. Okay, so Prey and Dishonored, they overlapped in development for a few years. At least I imagine. Yeah. How much collaboration did you have between the two teams? Did you ever have any moments? Because I know Bethesda has once a year their own mini E3 where you kind of show the game. Totally. But you guys are in the same studio. Well, did you have
kind of? So,
you're physically not?
Yeah, we're not in the same studio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were. Okay.
Well, the way it works is Dishonored was a collaboration between the Austin studio and the Lyon, France studio. So there was a small team in Austin, and the bulk of the team was in Lyon. So what happened is for the next round of games, the Leon team staffed up, and then we staffed up a lot, and we came in behind them. We started Prey after they had already started Dishonored 2. And so there's no the teams were not working on each other's games. That being said, though, we do keep in contact, and we're always playing each other's stuff, giving each other feedback, and there have been a few people who've gone back and forth on both teams.